Hi everyone, so it is summer and it is pressure washing season. So I wanted to do a review of a pressure washer I purchased last season. It was kind of an end of season sale item and I haven't had a chance to break it out of the box until now. Unfortunately, I'm a little under the weather and I was in a car accident a few weeks ago, so I'm kind of restricted in my arms overhead usage and any kind of heavy lifting. So it kind of worked out because this is a pressure washer that is supposed to be lighter and more light duty. So that's something that I didn't really want a huge pressure washer that I can't handle on my own. I did get help from my uncle, so luckily he stopped by at an opportune time. Opportune for me, maybe not so much for him. But anyways, so he did assist with my testing of this product. And I would just say that it's called Legend Force and it was purchased from Home Depot. I'll put in a picture of it right here so you can take a look at the product itself. So if you're interested in purchasing a similar product, maybe you want to just do a little bit of light cleanup around your home. So wash your siding or your stucco, maybe your driveway. We have a garden shed in the back, so that was the main reason. It gets quite dirty, and sidewalks as well. We have sidewalks around the house that do need some cleanup. So for all those reasons, soffits above the under the eaves, I guess, eaves troughs, the soffits also need to be cleaned. So all of that stuff is something that you can hire out and get somebody to do it for you, or you can get a pressure washer and be a do-it-yourselfer. It is a bit tedious, and of course it is easier to hire it out, but of course this economy, everybody's trying to save a few bucks here and there. So if you can do it yourself, then maybe try it. And here's my review of the Legend Force pressure washer. Hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, excuse my voice here, I'm just a little bit under the weather, but I wanted to share with you this pressure washer review that I'm doing. So I purchased this last season on a sale, so pretty much on end of season clearance sale. So it was a bit of a risk because of course I only had I think 30 to 90 days to return it, and I was not going to be using it in the winter. So this is the first time I'm using it. It is called Legend Force 1700 PSI electric pressure washer. And I didn't want to mess around with kind of gas or anything like that, which is why I got the electric one. And it says, powerful motor provides power without the hassle of gas, oil, and fumes. And my purpose of getting this was kind of for just around the home, like basic residential use. So I was thinking that it probably would be sufficient for my needs, and it's got a 2-year residential warranty. So yeah, it comes with a 20-foot hose and a 35-foot cord. And it says it's got a turbo quick connect nozzle and built-in total stop design designed to save energy and prolong pump life. Compact, lightweight design for easy mobility and storage. And it connects to all standard 5/8 inches garden hoses. So for me, it was really important that it be lightweight, and compact, so easy for storage and easy to lift and move around. So if you take a look inside, let's see what we got. Just open the top here, and you can see I haven't taken it out of its box at all. I haven't even checked to see if it has all the component parts, but it's looking like it does. So this must be the quick connect hose here, and inside we also have, looks like they give you the electric cord, which is nice because I thought you had to buy that separately, but that's good. So that would be good to go, and that's connected to the pressure washer itself. And here is the nozzle, sprayer nozzle. Looks like it's got a brass fitting there, and so this is the spray handle with the trigger. Okay, I've never owned a pressure washer before, so this is all new to me. Okay, so let's get this out here. Let's give you a look there. I have no idea how to use a pressure washer. I've never used a pressure washer before. That's why I'm going to take a look at this user and care guide, take a quick read through here, and then finish doing the assembly. What's this here? Read before use. Hose being disconnected, water must be turned on, yes. Okay. Shut off for main standby in periods of inactivity. Alright, simply squeeze the trigger to start. Alright, pretty common sense there. So let me take a look at this and see if I can put this together. Okay, so it says to connect this piece with this piece. So it looks like this piece goes in that way. And it looks like you connect one of these ends into here so that these two ends look like they're identical. So I don't think it matters what end. This was relatively easy to connect. So we'll get this connected in here next. All right, so I got this piece in after a little bit of effort, and I hope this is right because I have a gap here, but I can't seem to get it any tighter. So I'm hoping that's okay. Okay, so next I believe is the water hose, which goes in here. It has a filter, and that's really the only place it can go. So I think that's the next step. All right, so we've got the hose connected. This is not a super long hose, but it is a very sturdy hose, so I chose that one. And I think the next thing to do is enter the plug, or plug it in, basically. It's got, let's see, reset test, 2 prongs, and I've got an outlet right here. So it should be good to go, it should be working. Let's see, yeah, it should be okay. So it says to make sure that it is in the off position before you turn it on. So let's just check. That looks like it's in on. I'm assuming 0 means off. So I've just switched it to 0 for off. I'll just double check that 0 means off. 0 does mean off apparently, and it is plugged in, so I'm gonna let the water on, turn the water on now. It did said to press the reset button if the light was not illuminated. So this was illuminated, so I didn't press any buttons, but they do have a reset and test button. So if your light is not illuminated, that's what you would do. Okay, we have the water on. I'm just gonna move this to the ground so it's safer. All right, so it says next you can disengage the safety, which is, you can see here, you just pull it up and then the safety is disengaged. Then you would turn it on and then pull the trigger and go. And of course, you know, wear proper footwear or proper eye protection and be careful when you're operating this machinery. I will let it go and show you how it works. Right, very anticlimactic, guys. I turned it on. I gave it a few trigger pulls and it's just coming out like a normal watering hose. I actually could water my plants with this. There's no pressure whatsoever. I can hear the machine is on. It's making noise, but no pressure. So let me demonstrate for you. So here we go. I'm putting it in the on position. And you can see the flow. Pressure whatsoever. So I'm not sure if I did something wrong. I'm gonna turn this off and just take a look at the directions one more time. All right, so when looking at these parts, I see that this piece that sticks out opposite the on-off sign, that I do not have. So that could be something that's missing. And then this is D. And then this is E, so that is spray nozzle and turbo nozzle. Those pieces are not really on here. D seems to be, but not E. So I'll show you. This seems to be D, nothing here for E. I wonder if that's could be the reason why. I'm not getting any pressure on this. Yeah, D&E, it didn't say anything in terms of assembly for these parts. It says quantity 1 spray nozzle, 1 turbo nozzle. But I think you would put those at the end of the pressure washer. So those could maybe just be missing. So I might have to give these a call, because it does say on the front, missing parts before returning, call Legend Force. So maybe I'll try that. Unfortunately, it's Sunday, so I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Okay, well, it looks like I'm missing the turbo nozzle, but I think this nozzle is one that I can use. So let me try this one. So in order to put the nozzle on, you have to make sure this is on off, and then you put the safety on before you try to put the nozzle on. All right, looks like I got this on. It's a quick connect, so you just pull this brass part down and snap it in place. So hopefully we have better luck with the nozzle. All right, guys, so I guess I'm a little bit disappointed. The pressure is barely better than a hose, but I am using it to, you know, clean sidewalks and siding on this shed here. So my goal is just to kind of like get this grime off the siding of this shed, and then also just clean up this sidewalk here so you can see all the grime. So let's see, well, what kind of a job this does. So let me take a before and after shot for you. All right, let's see. Looks like I have to get really close to it before I can get any difference. All right, so I'm gonna give you the update here. So we weren't able to get everything done, but I wanted to show you the part that was done. So let's start with the sidewalk here. So you can see here, we just did this little patch as a test, and you can see it's quite a bit cleaner. The only thing is you had to be like this close to the sidewalk to actually make a difference. So that was quite tedious because the spray is quite narrow, and you can see how it looked before. So I left this just to show you the difference, and of course we'll do this eventually. And then we did these two sections as well, just to show the before and after. So you can see it does a really good job. It just is quite a bit labor intensive, because you do have to be about this much distance from the sidewalk to actually make an impact. And even when you do that, the spray is so narrow, so it is quite time consuming. So you can see the before and after there. And just swinging around. So luckily my uncle came by at just the opportune time. Well, for me, not for him, but he helped me because doing the overhead was quite a bit, it was very tedious, especially on your arm and on your trigger finger or trigger hand. Your hand does get quite tired. So it is something that I think it would take multiple rest periods, at least for me, in between, even though it is light, to get even a small job like this completed. But I wanted to show you, so basically we just did this side, actually just like this third basically of the shed, and you can see the difference. But again, you had to be like this far from the siding to actually get that grime off. If you were any farther than that, it just was not working. And then the last thing I'll show you is the soffits up there. So you can see we sprayed the soffits, and you can see the kind of before and the after. So this is not done and this is done. So you can see how much cleaner it is. And again, you had to be really close. So, you know, being doing that overhand work with your arm, it's quite fatiguing. I wasn't able to really do it. My uncle had to do that for me because I was in a car accident not too long ago. So any kind of overhead work is difficult. But you can see there's still quite a bit of grime here. We did not touch that, so that is something that we're gonna finish another time. But I just wanted to show you, to get this kind of review done, that this pressure washer is good for very, very light duty. Like even if you have, say, a small home, like maybe a rancher, one level, then perhaps it's good. But if you have kind of, you know, quite a bit of sidewalks to wash, a shed, maybe you want to power wash your house, then maybe go with the one level up, because I think this is just for the very, very basic, very, very light model. And the trade-off is, of course, it's lighter, but even with that, I think it takes so much more time with the light model. So my recommendation is kind of, if you have just the smallest possible area, then maybe this is for you. But if you have a larger home, then I would go with a more powerful, larger model. And that's my review. Hope you found that helpful. If you have any comments, please leave those below. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks so much.